Second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for
Sucks
this
to be them.
because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up,
never-ending bankroll.
Receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
We always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Stroud out of the gun here. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. As Stroud now to throw. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are just getting started here at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. 1 quarter in the books. 3-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the second quarter. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. On 2nd and goal, 1 man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. He's going to get it again. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans have taken the lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs
think we're going to be back by Friday?
A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
I don't know what's wrong with this coach.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe
Now the
Mixon.
camera turned off. That coded for electrical.
Is it?
Yeah, I looked it up. The fault is
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Like
Their
this,
drive
look.
last time, it
This
stalled
would
out.
get
They
over
were forced to
stuff.
take the short field goal.
Those lights were flashing last night. The lights up there.
Because you know coaches look at these short
Yep.
field goals
Yep.
as a last resort, right? To them,
It's
that's not how a drive is
something's
supposed
wrong
to end. You're
with
supposed to put
the
6
power.
on
You know how
the
to end it?
That's a consolation
I don't think
prize. I went to
it's
the county fair. You don't get the big stuff to
compressor on the
No, you
for
don't
the air
get top
conditioner.
shelf. That's
Power
bottom shelf
issue.
material.
That's why the air conditioner on off, on off, on off.
And he'll be taken
It's having
down,
power.
but not before they work it across midfield. 50 yards
Hopefully there's
rushing
a lot of
for him
fire,
with the
freaking
first
fire
half of
here.
this Super Bowl.
They say, hey, it's going to take all day to pitch.
We got to put this on too.
I know that, but the
Hurts
thing
sets
is,
up to throw it.
I don't care about the hotel, great,
That one
but
complete down the
I'll
field
pay.
to Smith.
We're down for a whole fucking day.
What they got to pay us? Like they did last.
A big
I just
play
did that
there for
for people.
Philly.
I'll be
44
honest.
yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they
Oh, you don't care.
I mean, I do, but what can I do about it?
Open.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, I know. If I'm going to stand by next man, I'm cool because I'm going home
Go home
next
next week.
one that they want to fix
We
immediately.
fought, you know what I'm saying?
Big play,
Oh,
a chance to
I know
finish
what
now
job I'm
on
taking
first and goal.
since I get out of here.
Huh?
I know what job I'm taking since I get out of here.
Barkley is into the end zone.
When you gonna apply?
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
I'm gonna be here. I got
Nice job
stuff
of
I gotta
polishing
pay
off that drive,
before
and all
I
the
go.
credit there goes to that play prior.
It's a day
Yeah, it
cab
certainly
job.
does,
It's
because
J&M Tank Line.
after that big play, I think
From
resistance
my house
almost felt futile
to
at
their
that point,
yard,
didn't
it's
it?
an hour
And the
40
very next
miles.
play, they come right back,
An hour 40 away.
quick, fast,
Compared
and in a
to
hurry,
the
and
one
put it
in
in the end
Dallas,
zone.
it's like 3-4 hours
Elliott
away.
good on the extra
This is
point.
only an hour and a
Lead
half
is now
away.
10-7.
So, they put me in Marble Falls, and I'm home every day, so I drive back to the house, then drive back. It's an hour and a half to work and back.
Now after the touchdown, here's
That's how
Elliott
long
to kick it away.
holding training is.
Huh?
That's how long holding training is.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out
Almost.
to the 30-yard line.
No,
And
four
now out comes
weeks,
Houston.
5 weeks.
A long
About
drive
a month.
last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in
Pretty
the
long.
shadows of
Now,
their
would
own
take-
end zone.
I
marching
would
down
take
the field,
longer.
and a lot
I'd
of
rather
that
have
was through the passing
longer
game.
training
There's a former
versus
defensive
sporting
back.
training
I'm having
because
almost a physical reaction.
what I'm
watching
doing.
what's happening right now, but let's get
Well,
ready for
the thing
it,
is,
because they've done an
good thing
excellent
is they
job
give you
moving the
like,
ball
they
through
do
the
2
air.
weeks at a time,
Secondary getting picked
3
apart,
weeks at a
pass
time,
by
and then they
pass.
send you on
Obviously, they need to make some
for,
adjustments there on the
for a
back
little
end.
while and
And
bring you
because
back.
offensively,
Okay, so you
we
can
know that they're
refresh your
not going to
mind
be
and stuff.
shy about throwing that football.
At Prime, I was on the truck 4 months. No, 3 months. It took me 3 months to get 50,000 miles.
From the 31, here's second
I
and
got a lot
9.
of good training. I never needed help backing or anything.
Now
With J&M
Stroud.
Tank Line, all my I've dropped
That's
Tank
caught
out
by
and
the
I
tight
think
end,
it's
Irv
solid.
Smith Jr. That's good.
That's
The
why I want
completion
that
there
job.
for 7 yards. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
And I'm home every day.
So they just need 1
And
yard here to pick
Say
up
one
the
day
first
I
down.
can't make it home. I'm just in my day
Back to
cab.
throw. Here's
Get to
Stroud.
Andrew, get to a hotel,
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted.
and we'll put in the hotel
And
for
they'll
the night.
start with
In
great
the morning I
field
come back,
position
I'm done for the
at
day.
the 41-yard line.
Monday to Friday off.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner.
Almost
You
like
and
a
I do a lot
34
of
reset.
games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run
Something
with the football
close to it.
before
Yeah.
they've intercepted it.
And if
So
I
that's a
move
nice job of
around
focusing on
Marble
the
Falls,
task at hand and
it'll
coming
be real
away
quick.
with the interception.
Yeah.
But no, I'm taking that job. That's the one I wanted after all, and it's day cab.
A first down carry
All I
for
do
Barkley.
is deliver balance.
Able to slither by. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's
You're not
first
in
and
the
10
same.
at the 18. Again, it's Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Rage stuff,
That was
man.
a
That
terrific
just
play,
did
causing
not
a
sit
loss.
with me.
As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he
The
did
pay,
there.
I like the pay. Yeah, 1,700 a week. Guaranteed the mileage.
Looking to throw on second down.
I
Hurts
just like
escaping
the
the
job
pressure
itself.
lane.
That's
To
the
the
best
goal
part.
line, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the
I mean,
pocket,
hell,
he
if they
was gonna
paid us
take
right
off
with
and
the
run for
lumper,
yardage.
I would
But
be
what often
content.
happens now with these quarterbacks who can
That
move,
that
defenses want to try to keep
$55
bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off.
I don't like
and made him
that
try a
they
pass
cheat you on
downfield that
stuff.
fell incomplete.
Well, this pass broken
said they
up.
cheat you on stuff.
Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was
Yeah.
not an easy one to hold
Right.
on to.
Oh, that's
Like,
gonna hurt
that's
a bit,
wrong.
because they needed to come through with a completion
That's all
there.
types
Now
of-
a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Texans are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. I appreciate the aggressiveness trying to go for it there on fourth down, but you're in the red zone.
The fact that they don't pay for them.
Pocket instead, Charles,
and the reason they do that is
a big call to go for it on fourth down, as you said, in the red zone.
The way they spin it is that you're not over the road.
We'll see how that affects the game as
to
time goes on.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That is and he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
That's their reasoning for that?
For them and for drivers over the road. That means
we are over the road.
And that means it's a sudden change
situation. The way they spin it is, the way they get around it, so they don't have to pay for them is, technically you're a Kentucky worker because every weekend we come back.
Still over the road.
It's like being a regional driver.
We're still over the road.
I know what you mean. I agree with you 100%. But that's how they get around that.
If they're doing that, they're weak. We're over the road.
Every company would do something different to get around certain regulations.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
I'm out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
Even though
they still have to follow the 70-hour call.
It actually illustrates how well they
sometimes work 16 hours straight.
That was as
and
long
you
as
can only work
this contest.
drive for 11 hours. And if you always up but I was going to 16 hours sometimes. The way they get around that.
Full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been
whether it's right or wrong.
His offensive line hasn't given him much
space.
A loss results there.
Throwing now is Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And
they have to call everything.
Not before he gets very good yardage there. That will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl.
Technically, you got to be on duty. Or you have to be on duty. But then, if you're on duty at every job, and I'm on duty, then you have no drive time. So then you sit there for 10 hours and do it again. And so how they it? Well, one driver can do it all. That's not fair. They do different things against the law to get around. For them, it's an allowance for over-the-road drivers. Well, our drivers come back every weekend.
The throwing again is Stroud.
We don't got to pay them for them. For them comes out of their pocket.
Second down.
And you pay tax. It's meant for us to be like Ubers. Groceries. For ourselves.
That would benefit us.
Yes,
and the Texans go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Allowing the driver.
That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
They spend that we're Monday, to a certain week, and then we go back for a reset.
So
at their terminal or wherever, right?
To kick it away.
Over the road drivers, they're out a month. They don't get it. So they run through Saturday, Sunday, and you might do a 34 reset. Then Wednesday and Thursday.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not to the fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They go play action with Hurts. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Paris Campbell in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen. Took a quick exhale. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 17-14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. This will be complete to Mechie. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. So we've come upon halftime in the big one. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Throwing is Hurts. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. 2nd and 6. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Hurts to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it up. Fighting to stay on his feet past midfield. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football open to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And they've got to be thrilled with the situation they've inherited here. Thank you, defense.
Thank you, indeed. They set them up the short field ahead of them, and now they've got a good chance to strike quickly and take the lead.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 3rd and 4. Here's Stroud. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now... you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
On 2nd and 2, Hurts. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Back to Gainwell here on 2nd down. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3rd and 2. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And they'll send the tight end in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Back to Gainwell here on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. So that's the end of 3 here in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Superdome. The 4th and final quarter coming right up. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time. Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one. It's going to be called. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Gainwell is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them. And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done. Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was Kenneth Gainwell who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Houston set to take over. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Stroud.
He's got it to Collins, complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Stroud.
Mechie has it on the slant.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward.
And it's caught on the deflection. And this is going to be a touchdown.
So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3-and-out.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this could become a career-defining drive for some. Down 3, fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is where the legends are made in the National Football League as they begin this drive 1st and 10.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now a 2nd and 10. And Stroud now to throw. This one left side caught by Collins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Here goes Stroud again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Collins. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This ball caught by Mechie. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. They'll look to throw again. Repeated the last play. Go to Mechie here. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. 2nd down, goal to go. Mixon will take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
They do tack on the extra point as well, and that will make this a 4-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Hurts and the Eagles now down 28-24. A minute 54 on the clock. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And that's complete to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now first and goal. On the sneak, it's Hurts. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now the attention turns to the Texans, trailing by a field goal. A little under 40 seconds to go. They need at least a field goal to send this Super Bowl to overtime as they come up on first down. Now this one into the hands of Mechie. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Here's Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Stroud to throw it. This goes out wide from Mixon. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now Stroud. And that one to the right side and incomplete. They still need 1 completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have 1 last shot.
So a big one coming here for Kaimi Fairbairn. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, that's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, They'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
Commissioner Goodell making the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy to the Philadelphia Eagles, champions of Super Bowl 59. So that will conclude our coverage this year on EA Sports. I want to thank my partner, Charles Davis, for another incredible season together in the booth. Till the fall, folks, Brandon Gaudin saying good night from New Orleans.